It's your girl Ro in the building, and I'm here to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing with you a no-fail recipe that you're gonna love. As you see my beautiful cake pops here, you're gonna have a chance to learn how to make an easy cake pop recipe. So let's get into the video. Starting off with a stand mixer using a paddle attachment. You wanna add in 3 large eggs, 1 cup of sugar. Mix until it's well incorporated. Then you want to add in 1 cup of flour, that's all-purpose flour, and then mix it until it comes out thick like this. Take your spatula and make sure you scrape your bowl to make sure there's no flour sitting at the bottom of your bowl. Then add in 1 cup of sour cream. You want to mix it until it's well incorporated. Scrape your bowl. Now you want to add in your box mix. You're going to add in the full box. Mix on low and begin to incorporate the water. You want to gradually add in your water a little bit at a time on low until all the water is completely gone. You're going to mix that for about 2 minutes. Now it's time to add in your Jell-O mix. Add in the full package and then add in 2 teaspoons of your flavoring and mix it until it's well incorporated. After all the ingredients have been incorporated, you want to mix this for about 2 minutes. Once it's done, scrape your bowl to make sure there's no ingredients sitting at the bottom of your bowl. Using a 9x13 cake pan, you want to spray and line it with parchment paper. Bake your cake at 325 degrees for 50 to 65 minutes, depending on your oven. Other cake mixes that can be used with this recipe, such as lemon, strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, and you can pair whatever Jell-O pudding mix of your choice. After your cake is done, you want to remove it and cover it as soon as it comes out the oven for 30 minutes. This process, you're going to sweat out your cake. After that 30 minutes is up, remove the foil. Now remove your cake from your pan and begin to cut the entire cake in small to medium squares. It is important to know sweating out your cake for this process is very important, so do not skip this step. Now add your entire cake to your mixing bowl. Now using your paddle attachment, you want to mix your cake until it all comes together and break down into a dough or cookie dough like texture. No frosting or no icing is needed for this process. Another important tip to know, do not overbake your cake. If you do overbake your cake and you get to this process and you begin to mix your cake, it will not come together in the texture that you're going to see here. Your cake will come out with specks and the cake will not come together completely. So as you see here, the cake is coming together. It's smooth. There's no specks. And this is the texture that you're looking for to create your cake pops. If you ever mix it while that cake is overbaked, it will not look like this. Now this is the texture you should have once your cake has broke down. As you see, it's nice and smooth. It's together like Play-Doh. Y'all, I do not like cake pops. I love to decorate them, but that's for someone else. But I'm here to teach y'all how to make a no-fail recipe. So, here you go. All right. So I'm rolling up the cake dough. I'm just showing you how easy it is to roll up this dough, doing it by hand. And as you see, it comes together so well. And I am going to go more in detail of how to create your cake balls. So now I am getting my saran wrap and I am going to store it. And you want to wrap it up really good and store it into a Ziploc bag. And you want this to sit onto the counter for 6 to 8 hours. If you leave it out overnight, no worries, but at least let it sit out on the counter for 6 to 8 hours. Once that time is up, you want to remove it. You can cut it down, cut it in fours if you like, however you choose to do it, depending on how many cake pops you're going to use. You have two options to store your cake pop dough. Store in the refrigerator for up to a week, or you can store in the freezer for up to a month. Just make sure that the naked cake pops are stored in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag to lock in the freshness. Now, once your cake pop dough has set out for 6 to 8 hours, this is the consistency or the texture your cake pop should be. Using a kitchen scale, you want to zero it out, but zero it out with your parchment paper on top. And you want to measure out your cake pop dough in ounces. Now, for my standard size, I measure out in 10 ounces. If you want them a little bit smaller, then stay in between 8 to 9 ounces. Now, taking my cake pop dough, I smooth it out and I begin to add the dough into the middle of my hand, cuffing my hand. I call a cuff and roll. But you want to begin to move in a circular motion and just cuff right in the center of the palm of your hand and rotate your hands in a circular motion, not pressing so hard, but so lightly, and just let that cake pop form and begin to develop into the ball shape it's going to come out to be. Now you're going to have to shape it up just a little bit with some, but doing this process helps. If it doesn't work for you, then you can use a cake pop mold. All right. You can roll it out and then put it into the ball and let it come out like this, or just take some cake pop dough, smooth it out to get rid of some of those cracks, and then apply it to your mold and just press and squeeze down as tight as you can, and then take off that extra dough from the side and keep squeezing until you barely get any cake pop dough to come off the sides, and then you can just open it up. Removing the cake pop, you're going to have a little bit left on the sides. You can gently rub that off or tap it in with your hand, but keeping the ball shape. Now, I've been asked, how do I get my cake pops to all look the same size? Well, this is the process that I do, and that is measuring them and lining them up as you see here. Now, going through the process of creating the cake ball, I prefer to create them with my hand. Now, you want to smooth out your cake pop dough, removing those cracks, placing that dough in the center of your hand, and just roll both of your hands in a cuffing or circular motion, but gently. And, you can move a little fast once you get used to this, but you want to gently do this, but not force your hands together, like pressing them together. So you want to let that ball form its shape into your hand and just go into that circular motion and let that ball shape up, and it's going to come out so perfectly round. Now, it do take some practice. Trust me, it took me some practice. But this is my way of achieving my cake pops to come out the same size. My little cake pop has these wonderful trays that is so convenient to hold your cake pops. I will leave the link in the description box below. But let's get into the chocolate and the candy coating and how important it is to make sure that it's smooth. Using chocolate or candy coating, you want to melt in 30-second intervals. I started off with 2 cups of almond bark and I added in a tablespoon of Paramount crystals to help with the thinning. You want your consistency to be runny smooth. Here I'm using the brand Coated in Color Pink Lily to achieve my color. This is an oil-based chocolate color and I will leave the link in the description box below. Having a cake pop stand is important to have when it comes to dipping your cake pops. Here I'm using this as my stand. It is part of a packaging that I will leave in the description box. I'm going to leave that link in the description box below. So check out how I assemble this part of the box. When you insert your sticks in this particular box, you want to make sure that your cake pop stick is all the way inserted through the second hole of this box, as you see here. Now, as you prepare to dip your cake pops, you're going to have a little flat bottom. It's okay to re-roll your cake pop to get rid of that flat bottom or get that tray that I mentioned earlier in this video. Also, do not leave your cake pop sitting out too long. They will dry out, all right? You want to dip the tip of one of the lollipop sticks into the melted coating, then push it into a cake ball going about 2/3 of the way into the ball. Wipe any excess candy off the bottom of your cake ball with a toothpick or your finger. If you get any imprints or dents in your cake ball, just round it back off with your fingers as you see me do here. Place your cake pops onto your tray for them to dry, and now you're ready to dip. Now you want to dip in a full cup of chocolate or candy coating. Dip the cake ball straight into the coating, making sure the entire ball is covered. Gently tap the stick on the side of the cup or tap your hand or the stick. Turning the stick with your fingers, rotating it so the coating is even and the excess falls back into the cup. If you get any little bubbles or pinholes, just use a toothpick to pop them out and then begin to tap and rotate so your coating can come back together. Once you're done, then place it back on your tray for your cake pops to dry. Now, if you have followed this process correctly, you do not have to worry about that cake ball falling into your cup. For more information on cake pops, check the description box below and check out the links listed there as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know how you enjoyed this video. And it's your girl Ro about to go, and I'll see you all in the next video.